It is time for a little bit of yoga. This class is going to be a nice post recovery anything kind of a class. So, a class that you could do after a workout, or a class that just days you're feeling more tired and you need something a little bit more zen like, a little more stretching. This is going to be your treat. Today, I want to start off with our contemplation around yesterday being National Semicolon Day. And National Semicolon Day is a day to honor those folks who have or are struggling with depression. It's also for people who have attempted or thought about suicide, or who have even lost their lives to suicide. And for me, this is dear to my heart in the sense that my dad has struggled with this for almost his whole adult life, and has attempted and many times over thought about it. And it's just, they call it National Semicolon Day because it's a point where an author in a sentence could end their sentence, but they choose to keep going. And so it's remembering that we are the author of our own story, and we all triumph. We all fail in our lives. It's just part of our human nature. But at the end of the day, we write the story. And so I want you to remember that every day that you are writing the story, and you are creating the meaning for every experience that does happen to you. And I want to give you back that power to remember that for yourself. So today, this practice, a lot can be stored in our hips. A lot can be stored within our body, things that we may not even know what it is. And so allow yourselves just to be open to release whatever might be needed today. Okay? And if you are someone that has struggled with this as well, my heart goes out to you, and please reach out if you ever need someone to talk to. I am here for you. So let's just take a moment and set an intention. And I want to ground us with just a really grounding mudra. You're going to take your 3 middle fingers and fold, kind of cross them inside each other. And you're going to bring your pinkies together and your thumbs together. My fingers are open inside, and we're going to just let this rest right across the navel center, with the pinkies pointing down, the thumbs pointing up to the heart. And I want you to feel your own breath as you close your eyes. You can start in any comfortable position. You can sit however you want here, cross-legged. Just make yourself comfortable, even sitting in a chair. And take a moment and tell yourself that you honor yourself for where you are right now on your path. For Semicolon Day, the author is you, and the sentence is our lives, right? Every single day, we are writing our own story. And our stories will be filled with magic, and our stories will be filled with challenges. And then there's these moments in our day where we can pause and we can create intention, like right now. And then release your chin towards your chest. Let your hands come down to your legs. Inhale, lift your chin, open your eyes. Very good. All right, we're going to come on to, and for this practice, if you have a block or two, it will be helpful, okay? So we're going to come to seated, and I just want you to make your hands comfortable. If you have wrist injuries, you almost could do this. You can even put a bolster if you had a bolster, and you could be on your forearms, but you could go on your forearms as well. I want you to take your feet a little further away from you than like a bridge post. So your ankles are definitely in front of your knees. Both sit bones are down, and you can even be up on fingertips like this. And we're going to take our knees to the right, but without letting the left sit bone come up. So a lot happens, like for me, right in my hip crease on that left side. And then bring the legs up, and then do the same thing over to the left. So I can notice right away, I'm like, oh, things are just a little stuck. You're not letting the right sit bone come up for this first round. Good. Okay. And then I want you to take your feet a little wider, and we're going to do it one more time. So now they're about as wide as your mat. You're going to still keep the sit bones down, knees to the right. At least take one full breath. And then bring the legs up. And then take both knees, right sit bone stays down. Take both knees over to the left. You could hear like I needed a deep breath there myself. And then back up. Now we're going to do it this final third time as a charm, which is what you want to do, which is lift that left sit bone. Go ahead. Knees go to the right. You get to lift this left sit bone up. And if you're feeling okay, you can put this right ankle, flex your foot, and put your right ankle bone just on the outside. See if you can kind of get it more up on the thigh a little bit so it's not quite pushing on the knee. See if you can get up a little higher. And then I want you to lift your chest and start to turn your chest to the left. Now, if you can, a soft, gentle ujjayi breath as you're doing these movements. And then unhook that ankle. If you have more time, please stay longer. Feet are wide as your mat. Bring them back up. Knees knock in. Heels as wide as your pinky toes. And then both knees over to the left. This time hooking, again, if you can, scooch that leg up a little bit more towards your mid-thigh. It'll kind of slide maybe a little bit, but do your best. Lift your chest and then start to turn. You can walk your hands in a little closer. Turn your chest to the right. We're going to practice today making this space a safe space for whatever might need to come out. But also giving ourselves the remembrance, because it's easy to forget that we do have the power. Let this foot come off to write our own stories. Good. Come back up to center and just take a moment. Go ahead and just windshield wiper side to side for a second. So if you did do an activity today, you're going to enjoy this. We're going to come over onto our side. We're going to start on our left side. Bring your left forearm down. Bring your knees together. And I want you to take your right hand on top of your right hip. We're going to do a little clamshell here, nothing too fancy. We're not even going to like lift up, although you could, I guess, if you wanted to. But the key here is we're going to keep this top hip neutral. So instead of opening the knee and like leaning back, that was a big over-exaggerated, but even leaning back a little, you're trying to keep this hip down, which means I'm not going to have as big of a range of motion. So you're going to slowly inhale, open. And exhale, imagine there's a little resistance so that your leg doesn't just drop, okay? Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Now again, if you have more time, I would encourage you do like 5 to 10 of these. We'll probably do about 4. But if you can, do more. Even just one more, right? The power of one. Good. Next time the knees are down, I want you to lift your right leg up so it's parallel to the floor. Keep your right hand just as kind of as a reminder here to stay neutral, and extend your leg on a diagonal. And as you exhale, draw your right knee forward like it's coming towards the back of your mat or front of your mat, depending where you are, and then extend it back on the diagonal. Exhale, bring it forward. It's like a walking movement a little bit. Inhale, exhale. And it starts out kind of unassuming, doesn't really seem that hard. The movement itself isn't necessarily hard, but as you keep going, you're going to feel some nice warming here to strengthen these outer rotator muscles. And you're even going to find that you're pushing a bit into the bottom outer leg. Pull it in and back, and you're keeping the leg neutral. So notice if your foot is turning out, your knee is turning out, keep it neutral. Try to keep it so that it's as though you're almost sideways, right? Last time. And out. Now push into this left forearm. You're going to come up to seated, crossing your left leg over. Now if you've got a knee injury, you're just going to straighten that bottom leg out. Seated twist, right sit bone down, left arm reaches up. Breathe in. And then exhale, hook the elbow around, lift your chest, and turn your torso to the right. Your right sit bone's all the way down. Chest nice and tall. As you exhale, turn the belly to the right. Now, some of you, if you want to go deeper and you can take the arm to the outside, those invitations are always there, okay? But when I'm doing juicy, like post-recovery things, really trying to listen to my body, I always go just, I easy does it, okay? All right, unwind, inhale. And I'm going to stay facing you, so I'm just going to uncross my legs and come over on this right forearm, but if you want to turn around on your mat, you sure can. Left hand on top of your left thigh, your knees are together. Remember, you're not trying to lean back and open up the hip. We're going to start with some of those clamshells. So inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale. So even starting to notice in your day-to-day, your thinking. Is my thinking supporting myself, or is my thinking depleting myself? And just having the awareness to pause there. Is this a story I really want to write in this moment? I truly believe that literally everything that happens, even the most awful things, I can't control those, but I do get to choose meaning of how I move forward from that, and whether I do that in a way that depletes me or supports me. Good. This is your last one. Now you're going to lift that leg up, so your ankle and your shin, everything is all parallel to the floor, keeping that hand there on the diagonal. Inhale, extend the leg. Try to lift the heel up a little more, and then exhale, pull it in towards your chest. Good. Inhale, diagonal. Exhale. Your knee is staying more forward instead of coming your thigh totally towards you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And I have to really watch my foot, because like an unconscious thought and habit, that leg will do all kinds of things if left to its own doing. Last time. Hug it in. Inhale, diagonal. Push into this right forearm. Sit up. Cross your shin, your foot over, sole of the foot all the way down. Your bottom leg can go straight here. Allow your left sit bone to come down as your left hand goes behind you. Breathe in. Exhale. Hook the elbow around. Push down into your left foot. Lift your chest. Lift the back of your neck, your inner ears. And then as you exhale, revolve as you pull your left knee towards your right armpit. Turn your chest to the left. Probably one of my favorite poses to do after activities. We're going to get some more in there, but this is a good one. Good. And then unwind. I'm going to swivel myself towards the front of my mat. Here's where we're going to need those blocks in just a minute. So we're going to rock and roll one time back, maybe 2 or 3. Uncross your legs. I'm going to rock maybe 2 or 3 times. Rock back to the top of the shoulders. Rock up. Now this time you're going to try to come to a malasana. You may need to use your hands to support you. And if your heels don't go down all the way, you can lift the heels up for this first one. We're not going to be here long. Just take a moment. Take a moment, thumbs coming to sternum. And then hands to your blocks, forward fold. Or if you'd like a shoulder stretch, you just got the shoulders a little tight with whatever you've been doing. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Clasp your hands behind your back. Relax your head and neck and stretch your knuckles up and over. Let the hands come down to the blocks. Inhale, lift your chest. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot back. Drag your blocks back with you. Place your left knee to the floor. Keep your right hand on your block. I'm going to actually turn mine out to the right so my shoulder externally rotates. And we're going to sweep the left arm over the ear. Keep the tailbone dropping down. If you need to pad that left knee, you can with a blanket or a towel. Opening up that side body, the hip flexors. And then exhale, sweep that left hand back down. I'm going to turn my blocks forward, and I'm actually going to heighten them up. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee up. And we're going to bump that back foot up, but you're going to stay on the ball of the foot. So we're going to inhale, bring your weight a little more forward over your right leg. And what that'll do is you might likely feel more stretch into the IT band. You can see I'm very high on the ball of my back foot. And as you exhale, you're going to bend that back knee, kind of like you're going to sit back on the heel until you feel a stretch in the back of the hamstring. So we're just going to pulse here. Breathe in, straighten your back leg, heart forward, and exhale. Bend that back leg. Inhale one more time. Exhale, bend. Inhale, come into that front leg. Back leg is straight, front leg is straight. And just take an extra breath. Now bend your right knee, walk those blocks forward an inch and step forward. Uttanasana. I'm going to lower my blocks back down alongside my feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right leg back. Back knee's going to go down. You might feel a little tingling right now in your body, maybe in the hip flexors. I'm going to turn my block out just so I can, again, externally rotate the shoulder. And now right arm will sweep over the ear. Palm facing down. You can heighten these blocks up if you need to. You could also even bring your forearm on your thigh if the block feels too far away. Keep the belly moving back. And then exhale, sweep that hand down. Again, I like my blocks on the taller setting here. Lift the back knee up. Bump that back foot up. You're on the ball of the back foot. My feet are about hip width apart here. Lean forward. So really get high onto the ball of that back foot. And as you exhale, bend that back knee. Keeping the sole of your left foot down. Inhale, forward. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, bend. Then we're going to take an extra breath or two. Come forward onto the ball of the foot. You're really leaning into that left foot. A lot happening here, even though you can't see it necessarily on the outside, right? Just like our life, it's easy to say, I'm fine. I'm fine. And we're not fine all the time. And it's okay to not be fine all the time. Bend that front knee. Step forward. Uttanasana. If you want to, you could take ragdoll or second time. Interlace your hands behind your back. Switch your grip. Rock it out. Let your head go. Stretch the knuckles up and over. And release the hands down to the floor. One more time, we're going to come down to a malasana, squatting down. Hands to the heart, breathe in. And if you like, you can bring the feet more together for this one. Let the heels drop and walk your arms forward. Hug your knees in towards your armpits. And then exhale, slow, come down to seated. Bring your knees together, and we're going to come down onto the back. Last couple of poses here. All right, we're going to take a figure 4. Right ankle above your left knee. Thread your hands, left hand behind the outside, or on the outside, right arm between the legs. Draw your chin down. Flex your right foot. Right ankle bone just a little outside your right leg. Relax your jaw. Now we're going to come into what's called a sleeping pigeon. I'm going to turn the other way so you can see a little better. You're going to let go of your clasp. Your legs are going to stay hooked though. You're going to take your left hand onto the top of your right foot. And the closer in my legs are to my body like they are right now, it will intensify the stretch. If I move the legs away, it'll decrease it. So I'm going to hold the top of the foot and we're going to tip the pose over to the left. Okay. Now, if my legs move away, it's less intense, as I said. So take your bottom thigh, your left thigh if you need to, and use it to scooch your right foot closer towards your left shoulder. And I like to hold the foot because otherwise my foot tends to slide here and I can't really drop into the stretch. Some of you might like to take your right hand and kind of hold the inner knee. Some of you might like to cactus your right arm or make a T. And remind yourself that you get to write your own story. That we all have triumphs and we all have failures. Or better yet, ways that we've just figured out don't work that great. But we get to write the story. And the hardest thing is just taking the first step. Now let this left leg basically stay where it is for the moment. Let go of your right foot. Set your right foot, I'm going to slide my legs back kind of more to the middle of my mat. Set your right foot on the floor like it's in a half bridge pose. Your right foot is in front of your left foot. Your left leg is still open, the knees out to the side. I want you to take your right hand and hold that left foot. Now, I don't feel any thigh stretch right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push into this right foot a little bit, and I'm going to slide. I'm going to pick the whole left leg up, and I'm going to slide it to the right, so it's closer to my right foot. And if I need to move my right foot over even more so that I can get my left leg to have more space to go right, do that. And then you're going to take your left arm over your head. And if you like a little extra, you can take a little side bend over to the right. So we just get this beautiful stretch through the whole left side, across the front of the quad, and I'm just kind of holding the foot. Draw your tailbone down, lift the pubic bone up here, you'll get a little more stretch. Your head is down, your left shoulder is down. If you have a pause button, this is a great time. Any of these last couple poses, pause, stay longer. And then bring your torso back upright. Let go of your left arm. Slide your left foot out and pause for a moment. Second side, left ankle, hook it above your right knee. Figure 4 to start. Now, sleeping pigeon. If you can't figure this pose out, again, just watch carefully. You're going to let go of your clasp, hold the top of your left foot with your right hand, and we're just going to tip the whole pose over to the right. If it's just not working for you, stay in figure 4, okay? It gets into a totally different part kind of the hip. You kind of feel it more in the glute med. So again, hold the foot, scoot your right thigh more forward if you need to, and then either left hand holding inner knee or cactus your arm. Sometimes I think we feel ashamed for how we feel inside. And then that shame makes us suffer more and it depletes our energy. And so this time on your mat together, I know we are not physically together, but we are together. This is a safe space for you to be honest with yourself. Be honest, but also be accepting. To kind of wrap yourself in love for these short mini practices. Okay, so we're going to let go. This right leg is, I'm going to kind of slide my legs back onto my mat a little more, but your right leg is going to stay open. We're just going to slide the left foot off. It's going to step in front of your right foot. I'm going to grab my left hand, hold my right foot, and we're going to slide. I'm going to slide my right, pick my whole right leg up and slide it so as I kind of look down. My knee is pretty much in line with my shoulder. Some of you, it might be even more to the left, and you have to really knit your front ribs in, take your tailbone down, and then right arm can go over your head. And if you want to take a little side stretch, you can do that. Lean to the left. You may not even need to hold your right foot with your left hand, but I find it's just more stable, more comforting. And it's also reminding you that you got you, okay? You're in your own corner. And you will always be in your own corner. Bring your torso back upright. Bring your arm down by your side. Slide your right foot back out so both feet are on the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees go wide. Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. Come back to the mudra we started where the 3 fingers interlace. The thumbs touch, the pinkies touch right over the navel center. Take 3 deep breaths into your belly. Remind yourself that you are here for you. And you can stay here longer or let your legs extend out. Let's just take a minute. Shavasana shape, palms turn up, feet open up. And as you rest in Shavasana, just saying to yourself 2 words, I am, without any attachment after those 2 words. Just the phrases, I am. I on your inhale, M on your exhale. Begin to close your fingers into your hand, making just a gentle fist. And then open your fingers out, and as you do, wiggle your toes. Stretch your arms over your head. Bend your knees, connect your feet to the earth, and roll to your right side. Push into your hand. Bring your body back upright to an easy seat. Hold your palms together in front of your heart. As we step off our mat today, we remember that we are the author of our own story. That every day we get to start again. And we could even say that in every moment and every breath, we get to choose again. So what can we do so that we start to support ourselves more fully, even when we make mistakes, and especially when we make mistakes, because we will. As you draw thumbs to third eye, thank you. Thank you for practicing and doing this important work. And my heart goes out to all of us who either are or know someone who is struggling with depression or suicide. May we all come together to know each other more fully and remember that we are all doing the best that we can. Namaste. Thank you. We'll see you next time.